Welcome, 3SM Podcast, episode 203. And I'm so glad and grateful to be able to say welcome back to Spiritual Mama.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. So today we are going to in a little bit of depth about holistic health. Would you start by talking and explain what is holistic health?
Holistic health is obviously it means your health, but on many different levels. So it means on the medical, on the mental level, the physical and spiritual. So holistic means the whole, whatever it is you're talking about. So the whole category, all the different categories of the health, you know. So if you just try and sort of understand that holistic means holistic. So yeah, physical, mental, and spiritual. So yeah, that's what holistic health actually means. The reason why that it's a really good idea to look at things holistically is because one level of our being interacts and actually affects the other. So like, for example, if you've got digestive problems, that can cause a lot of discomfort, muscular problems around the body. It can make you feel quite sluggish and sort of so it affects your energy level. So one thing can affect can sort of affect the next thing, which is in your energetic body. So yeah, everything's connected, you see. Like I said, everything's connected. So if we're only just looking after like our mental level or our physical level or our spiritual level alone, that's good because it's better than nothing. But the other sides of your being is not going to be nurtured. So that it's not going to last. Whatever you're doing to help yourself isn't going to last really, because you're not looking after the other sides of your being.
Yeah. Would you try and care to maybe give an example?
So like for example, if okay, so if you're just doing just meditation, take that for example, just meditation. So meditation is good for you mentally, spiritually, and physically, but it's mostly better for you mentally, right? And spiritually. So it's more of a mental and spiritual, energetic sort of benefit, really. Although it does help physically, but it's mainly spiritual and mental. So if you're just doing that and nothing else, but having a really bad diet, for example, the meditation that you do isn't going to last that long. The benefits from the meditation that you practice is not going to last that long. Whereas if you have a good diet along with doing a meditation, the effects of the meditation will last longer.
Yeah, good example. To put into comparison with another animal species, it would be, I think, just my personal opinion, kind of like when you have animals in the zoo and they have some kind of special diets. You can see some animals is thriving, and the ones that are actually free out in nature is looking more healthy and more holistic as a whole. I
Yeah,
would like to put that comparison. Yes.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, at the end of the day, I mean, I know animals are still breathing it, wild animals are still breathing in the air and stuff like that. So some things are bad for them still, but really they're connected to nature. And being connected to nature, that's so important, because we, all living beings, are nature. We are
Yeah,
part of nature. So if we're connected to nature, we're going to benefit from it, because we're
and
absorbing part of what we are.
yes, and when you're talking about nature and connecting with the nature, I would like to go on to three and maybe ask you if you can elaborate about the benefits and also maybe talk about walking barefoot into either grass or sand, but in Mother Nature in general, earthing.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, the benefits of breath work, like I said, you know, if you do breath work or any form of meditation, because you don't forget, when we're talking about breath work, it is actually a form of meditation. So but it's good, like I said, holistically. So therefore, like I said before, that means it's good on a mental level, emotional level, and spiritual level. um, so yeah, I mean, by doing breath work every day, you, it can make your digestive system better and more functional. It can actually help the bowel system. Um, it can actually help you to sleep better. It can give you more energy. Um, it can make you feel more grounded. So now we're talking about actually going into the mental benefits, you know. Um, so yeah, and it's kind of good for your whole well-being as well, which is also a mental thing.
Yeah. Beautiful. And maybe touch upon and connect how easy it is and how it should be implemented as a habit.
Oh wow, breath work really is easy. It only actually literally takes no more than 6 minutes to practice. Such a quick thing to do, very, very easy, very simple, um, and you're done. And if you do it at least, I would say once a day. I mean, I do breath work twice a day because I've been doing it for a long time. And also, I realize that 5 minutes out of your day isn't that much. So why not just throw it in twice a day, morning and evening? Um, but yeah, so it's good to do it every day, because the way meditation works is by consistency. So if you kind of, for example, do one session, you're not going to really benefit from that, to be quite honest with you. You might feel immediate benefits, but long term, you're not going to feel the long term benefits if you just do one session here and there. Whereas if you do it consistently every day, then it's kind of like, in a way, filling your car up with petrol. You know, if you fill the car up with petrol once every now and again, it's going to run out, isn't it? But if you're doing it consistently, like every day, because we're going to be, if you're using your car every day, um, petrol's going to be going down all the time. So if you're filling it up every day, you're never going to run low. It's kind of like that. That's how it works.
Yeah, and I think if I'm not remembering all wrong, I think it was Bruce Lee who said that you can kind of visualize how you just talked about meditation and see a glass of water, and if you have mud water and you stir up the glass, everything is all blurry and you can't see anything. But if you sit in silence and let all the mud and all the stuff go down in the glass, you will have a clear head and clear water and clear view.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a really good analogy, actually.
Yeah, and I think we are going into a little bit about some good and easy steps for first timers in holistic health practicing.
Right. So what I would say is, first of all, concentrate on your posture, your positioning, the way you're sitting. Make sure you don't cross your legs. So but at the same time, sort of sit in a way that is comfortable for you, because you don't want to be doing breath work feeling uncomfortable with the way that you're sitting. And then once you've found your comfortable way to sit, do a few breaths. Literally just do a few breaths. And I would advise, put one hand on your lower belly and the other hand on your chest. And when you breathe in through the nose, what you should feel is your lower belly expand. And what that means is that you're pushing your diaphragm up. Okay, so this helps you to breathe properly as well. So when you breathe out, you feel everything deflate from your chest as well. So just be aware of the air going in and then also the air going out. And yeah, do that. Just do a few breaths and just get the hang of it, I would suggest, before you actually start practicing. So get comfortable, practice a few breaths, and then when you're ready, start your practice.
Yeah, beautiful. Well, thank you. And I want to go over to holistic health. And what kind of food and natural uh, like natural medicine and natural food is recommended with this?
Well, obviously, vegetables, fruit, all the things that are good for you, the things that aren't very good for you, like starchy things. Um, I'm learning lately, I'm kind of learning as well that, yeast isn't necessarily good for you, gluten and things like that. So there's some things that I might start not eating or trying to avoid as much. Um, Sugars are very, very bad for you. They're not good for you at all, unless you're diabetic and you need sugar, of course. um, but sugars are not good for you at all. Um, so just eating natural things that have less preservatives and artificial flavors and colors and things. So yeah, one thing that I would say that is quite good that I've been doing in the last few years, and I really feel the difference, is implementing more seeds and nuts in your diet. I think these things are really good, and if you can, try and buy these organic seeds and nuts. But I buy them, and I bought like a coffee grinder, and I put my seeds in that, grind my seeds down into a powder, and add them in a drink. Or you can add it to food. You can add it to sprinkle it over salads. There's so many different ways you can use nuts and seeds,
Mm.
and they taste nice as well. They really taste nice. But the reason why they're good is because organic seeds and nuts, of course, is because when you think about seeds and nuts, that they have a shell, and that shell actually protects them from the atmosphere. So yeah, nuts and seeds are very, very good for you, and there's all different kinds. with all different supplements and vitamins. So many benefits they have. But yeah.
Yeah, amazing. Well, thank you so much. Now I think it is time to touch upon two really interesting topics. And I'll start about the first one first. Care to elaborate a little bit about 5D, five dimension?
5D. Okay. Right, dimensions. A lot of people don't believe they exist, and I don't know why they don't believe that, because science now has proved that there are different dimensions, and actually these different dimensions are held in our DNA structure. So we have first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, right to 12, or maybe even 13, because some scientists are saying that an extra dimension's been made. But, you know, I'll elaborate on that later. But the scientists have discovered that all the dimensional structures we hold in our DNA. So that actually proves that we are actually multi-dimensional beings. So the way that I would explain a dimension is a level of consciousness, because your consciousness has to expand in order to go to the next dimension. Now, also bear in mind, there are different levels within each dimension, 3 or 4 levels. So yeah, absolutely. But take, for example, people that are asleep, no disrespects to them at all. And it doesn't mean that we're better, that anyone's better or worse, but our conscious levels are completely different to the people that are asleep. So, for example, I would say the sleepers are kind of still in the 3rd dimension. But I would say that people that are awake are actually in the 4th dimension, going on to the 5th dimension. Because you've got to remember that you know, when you're on a different dimensional level, it's all to do with the consciousness. And this is why people that are in the sleepers, the ones that are in the 3rd dimension, are unable to see what we can see. So if you just try and absorb that a bit, it'll give you the idea of what dimensions are all about.
Yeah, thank you. That was amazing. And then we're going on to be really interesting. Care to elaborate and talk a little bit about Project Bluebeam?
Oh, Project Bluebeam. Do you know, it's something, so Project Bluebeam is a project where the government are supposed to be displaying sort of what are they called now? You know, images in the sky, holograms. Are supposed to be displaying holograms in the sky of spaceships, and they are supposed to be not friendly aliens. And now, bear in mind, they're not actually really going to be there, but the government is going to make all of this look like the aliens and the UFO are against humanity and are going to be attacking us. Now, personally, this is a personal opinion when I say this. Right, okay, so I do believe that there are other beings out there in the universe. And I think that disclosure, UFO disclosure, is coming up and could happen pretty soon. And I think that the elites, they want control of the narrative. And because of this, they're actually you know, they've got their own project, which is Project Bluebeam, because there are good beings out there in the universe. I'm not saying all of the beings are good. I'm just saying, you know, the majority of the beings are actually good out there. So because the elites know this, and the elites know that they don't like the way that they are treating humanity on a whole, the elites actually find UFOs, these aliens, a threat. Now, the reason why these good aliens can't come in and help us out is because they respect the free will thing. Because of free will, they cannot do this, and the elites know this. So I think they're trying to be clever in the respect where they're going to make us try and make us terrified of UFOs and aliens, I think, with this Project Bluebeam. And what that's going to do is totally throw humanity and confuse humanity when the good aliens come to help. That's my opinion on that.
Yeah, I think we are getting to soon of the end here, but I really like what you said there, and I saw something, a post the other day that kind of get a, how can you say, a comparison, or a little bit you can connect the dots. If you thought that 9/11 was something big, just wait for the goose sign upcoming alien invasion. So yeah,
Yeah,
I think you're onto something. But again, then how we look forward to warmer, more beautiful, more connected people. We are, I think, and again, it's just my personal opinion as well, in the midst of the Great Awakening with a lot of challenging stuff. But I think we are, and we going to win this race, even though it's in the darkest hours. It is hard
yeah.
to see the light. So you have something more important you want to put in the end here?
Yeah, I was just saying that going back to this alien invasion, I don't know if you're aware at all, but lately in the news, in the media, they're starting to say that they're shooting down UFOs, you know, in Canada, USA, China, you know, that there's quite a lot of reports that there's been sightings. I don't believe this, because if there's been a lot of sightings and a lot of UFOs being, you know, taken down by the military, why aren't they recording it? Why aren't they taking pictures? So, because I'm sure they have cameras, you know, on their craft, where they can just press a button and take a picture. I'm sure they've got that technology. So why aren't they taking pictures of these UFOs and actually using them, and the media using those pictures to make the reports? It's because it's not happening. Because I actually think at the moment what is going on is they're building up to Project Bluebeam. So I would say they've already started. I would say that this Project Bluebeam actually has already begun. That's what I can see.
Yeah. And before we're going to play this beautiful outro, you have some tips on the physical, social, and mental.
Physical, social, mental. Eat healthy. Do your breath work. Do a little bit of exercise. Even walking. Go out in nature, respect nature, and connect with nature. That's really important. You know, breathe the air in from the trees. You know, love the trees, love them, love nature, enjoy nature. Go out in the sun, enjoy the sun, enjoy the beauty that the world has to offer, you know, and try and eat a good diet. Try and eat seeds, try and eat nuts, drink plenty of water, but not tap water and not bottled water, of course. And yeah, just make the most of your life, you know, live every day in the moment and don't worry about the future because it's not here yet. And don't worry about the past because it's gone. Live in the moment.
Thank you so much, Spirit Mama. I think that was beautiful put to the end. And I want to say thank you so much. And for now, remember, peace and love to you all.
And you too. Thank you, Viking.
Folk kan hate, så kan jeg elske. Jeg elsker det. Instagrammen min SSShow 2020. Du elsker.